Going live. Well, that's a boob shot. We love that. Love, but actually don't. Okay, so now we have those two cameras rolling. Okay, do you want me to scoot a little bit closer to me?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to scoot this over
And then,
towards you more?
yeah, I'm gonna hurry and get this.
I feel like it's gonna
The
hit my stomach.
podcast.
Talking about food.
Okay, so now we have to get this rolling, and then I'm gonna put up, so that, and then I'm gonna put this back up here. Okay, everyone, welcome to my show. I'm here with Erica.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking today about some hacks to healthy eating and just kind of like listening to your body. And Erica actually works at Lifetime Fitness, which is like a really big gym. And she's had a lot of experience with like food and working with a lot of people. So we're going to get her insight on that and just kind of like what she's learned. And you're also plant-based, right?
Yes, I am. Well, so I'm not entirely plant-based, so I'm pescatarian, so that's like my dietary label is pescatarian.
Cool.
But yeah, so that's vegetarian, but I eat fish, but I only eat fish like seldomly. I only say that because I love sushi. I like it up for sushi, but a lot of pescatarian diets are just like fish in every single meal. But I don't do that. So.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do like, but you, like you said, you eat sushi, which, can you have like rice and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We love rice. Okay, so if you guys have any questions too, make sure to go onto my YouTube channel, which if you're on this video, then you already know, and just submit any questions and we can definitely answer them for you. So let's first talk about just kind of like your background and like kind of introduce yourself. So like how long have you worked at Lifetime? Just kind of like give your little spiel.
Yeah, okay, so the first thing that I think is super important to address to everyone is neither one of us are dietitians or nutritionists.
True.
We don't have a degree. Like, just because I work in the cafe at Lifetime Fitness does not make me a professional or an expert or anything like that.
True.
All of the facts that I'm going to give out, and I think Tara's going to give out also, are just personal experience. And like, I've done my fair share of research, and I've taken health and nutrition classes in college. But aside from that, we are not experts. This is just what works for us and the things that we think are beneficial.
100%. Dude, also, side note, your lashes look so good.
Thanks.
So good.
Kylie Lynn Harrison.
Did your lashes. Okay, so yeah, I definitely agree with that because I think a lot of times, like, we're definitely not experts, and it's good to know that you're just learning from other people's experience, and I think a lot of people love that, is just learning from what other people have, because I've definitely learned a good amount of things with like food and working out and stuff in my time, but there's still so much that I have to learn.
Yeah,
you know.
No, for
so
sure.
It's like,
for sure.
Which I know you're the same way, but yeah. So how long have you worked at like Lifetime, and what do you do there?
Okay, so Lifetime Fitness in South Jordan, Utah. I work inside the cafe. Cool. I worked there while I was in high school, so it was like a year ago now. I worked there from what month? April. It's April right now. April up until September, and then I moved away to go to college out of state. And then after that, I worked again when I was home for Christmas break in December. And then I just recently moved back to Utah, so I'm back working full time now. So total, I don't know how many months that is.
Yes,
but
girl.
Like ultimately,
yes,
pretty much a year. There, not much have changed in like the
that's awesome.
Like 5 months I was gone or whatever.
And what kind of food do you like make at Lifetime?
So at the Life Cafe, we make pretty much anything you can think of. I mean, aside from like super luxurious like steaks and sushi.
Yeah, but everything's like healthy too.
Yeah, so the motto is if it's here, it's healthy. It's healthier for sure. So we do a lot of meal prep. The thing that I do the most is protein shakes. So that's what inspired Erica Eats. Actually, is my protein shakes. So that's like my main job. Is what I do. Yeah. And then we also like our menu is all like everything healthy that they've come up with, I guess. We have a bunch of grab and go stuff, and then the menu is all, there's like burgers, there's couscous bowls, there's
I love couscous.
Literally chicken
it's so
tenders.
Good.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Couscous is amazing.
Couscous. Yeah.
It's so good.
And then there's just like a ton of different salads, a ton of different bowls, like acai bowls, all sorts of stuff. Pretty much
I should
a
just
fine majority of what you
there
can
every day.
No, it's amazing.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so anyways, Erica has an Instagram, and it's Erica Eats.
Yes, Erica Eats with 2 A's because
and then
one A was taken.
And then there's 2, it's like, so wait, spell it out so that they can follow you.
So it's ERICAA Eats, EATS.
Yeah, and she posts the most bomb recipes, and if you follow me on Instagram, I've like posted about her before because I've like done her recipes, and they taste so good. My favorite smoothie is the chocolate, like it's like chocolate protein powder, like the oatmeal packets, and then I think, do you put bananas in it and peanut butter?
Banana, peanut butter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, that's like a straight up meal because like the oatmeal is like so filling, which normally when I take like when I'm eating like a protein smoothie or whatever, and it's like I feel like if it's just without the oatmeal, it doesn't fill me up as much.
Yeah.
But with the oatmeal, it's like, it's so good.
Yeah, that's a super nice thing. I know so many people struggle with protein shakes, and before I totally did. I would have the hardest time. It's one of those things where you have to plug your nose and chug. But then after working at Lifetime, I learned the different ways to make protein shakes. That's why like I made this page, is because so many, I would just post about it on like my Snapchat story and stuff, and everyone's like, what? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And there are so many different ways to make a protein shake depending on like what you're doing.
Yeah, so like tell me about like your like fitness goals depending on the person. So let's say like a girl is like just getting into fitness, like she has no background, and like if they were to come into your cafe and say, okay, like I want like a smoothie that's gonna help me like maybe like lean out and like tone me but not get me like super bulky, is there like a certain like protein powder that you would like suggest, or like even like what would you tell them like if they came into your store or into Lifetime?
Yeah, so a really really big part about having fitness goals is making sure that your dietary restrictions and decisions are on board, because you can be going to the gym, and I say this all the time, you can be going to the gym and be there for like 4 hours and do literally everything, and then eat not as much food and think, oh my gosh, I'm losing so much weight, and like I'm gaining so much muscle, but that's so unhealthy. You should not do that. It is so important to eat food.
And Erica's super fit. I've seen this girl in a swimsuit, and let me tell you, it is freaking fire.
Mama, she is.
No,
I'm trying to keep
your girl
up.
is slim thick. You're like so toned and like I love it. Yeah, you have such a good bod. And she's also she played college softball too.
I'm turning red. You're so cute.
You're so cute. No, I'm just speaking truth, dude. I speak nothing but the truth.
Yeah. So I was.
You're so cute.
I'm bright red. It's fine. So yes, I was playing college softball. I had to come home, so I moved home because of an injury. But my entire life, I've always been an athlete. I've always played sports or been like into fitness, I guess.
It's the best, dude.
No, it's super awesome. And so also a lot of like my background has just come through like the different trainers I've had through high school and college and everything like that, and everything that they've suggested, as well as like different requirements that need to be met. Especially you see that a lot with college athletes. If anyone's a college athlete on here, you know there's like, for guys there's like weight requirements a lot of times. For girls, I'm as a catcher, and I'm like 5'9", and my body's just skinny, like I'm not big boned at all. And so my entire life I've always tried so hard to gain so much weight, but it just doesn't work out for me.
Which are the opposite. So we have two, but that's good that both of our body types are different, because I was more like I always was trying to like more like lean out and like get toned more than like gain weight, you know? Like I loved gaining muscle, but it's so like going back to what you said about eating like a good amount of food. Like the time in my life where I've been like the most fit, which I'm currently like working up to get back there. But it's a lot of work to like maintain, which you know. But like I was eating like a decent amount of food, like just very like I love just like what's like the name of like a diet that's like very like well like not thought out, but just like
keto,
no, it's just like I did keto, and I wasn't about that, but like it's just like I mostly just do intuitive eating, and I make sure I get like a lot of greens and like just like berries. Like I don't eat like I eat bananas and then I eat berries, but like besides that I don't eat a ton of like other types of fruit really, unless like I'm making like a smoothie, but just like on the daily and stuff. But I always try to stay away from too many carbs, but there's good carbs and bad carbs too. Or they're not bad, but just like maybe shouldn't eat them all the time.
Lesser wonderful carbs.
Less wonderful, even though they taste freaking amazing.
Oh yeah. No, they're it's definitely super, super important that you are keeping track of what, even if you're not keeping track of what you're eating, even if you don't have fitness goals, like if you're like in your 20s or younger or whatever, like even though maybe right now, like for me, I literally have the hardest time gaining weight. Any of my weight comes from my muscle, and other than that, like it's just so hard for me. Like my body fat percentage is so low, like I'm always cold. But anyway, aside from that,
always freezing.
I'm always freezing. But yeah, aside from that, even though you're eating what you think, whatever you want right now, like down the road, it's just like
and it's also about habits too.
Oh yeah, habits are super big. Develop them now, especially eating habits.
Because I have so many friends that just say like, oh, I eat whatever I want like in my 20s and I won't gain weight, or like I'll gain a little bit of weight, but then like in 20 years your body's gonna be so completely different.
Oh yeah.
Like
especially
since
after you pop out a couple
kids. Give some couple kids, you're married, your life's crazy. It's like whoa.
And
then and I feel like eating healthy too is so much more than, because we just mostly talked about physical at this point, but eating healthy is so much more than just that. Like at least in my experience, when I'm eating healthy, my mental health is like on another level. Like because I'm just feeling good, I'm feeling confident, and especially with like the endorphins that you get when you're working out, like I feel so good. And I just feel, I love like the feeling of like, I know I'm like giving my body like the nutrients that it needs.
Yes, ding ding ding. Nutrients.
Yeah.
Highlight, pizzazz, nutrients. Literally. That is so big. So, sorry.
No, you're good.
I didn't mean to.
No, you're good, dude. I love this. I love it.
Nutrients are so important. I get asked literally all the time, oh, like, how can you be an athlete if you're vegetarian?
Yeah,
Where do you get your protein? You just drink whey? Like, so whey protein, that's like the powder protein.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you are meat, and I learned this in my health and nutrition classes, so I know this is factual. As long as you are meeting your daily nutrients, you are doing great. And that is super important. And like, even if you don't care to know for yourself, really knowing for myself is what has helped me so much. Because when I made the decision to make the complete switch to vegetarian, or pescatarian in this case, before I would just think like, oh, I needed protein, so like, let me go eat all this chicken. I could never eat red meat. Literally my entire life, I've never been able to. I
just makes you sick.
I just get so sick for like ever since I was little. But I would eat a ton of chicken. That's like what my main source of protein was, and then fish. I would love salmon more than anything. Oh my gosh.
So what do you eat like now? Like what's like what like where do you get your protein from?
So I get my protein from Beyond Meat. I post about that a lot. If you go check out my page,
I just saw that.
You will be able to see it a lot. There's a lot of tofu there. So something that a lot of people don't understand about vegetarian and plant-based diets there are so many alternatives. I will mention you should watch the documentary What the Health.
Oh yeah, is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. I will be straight up, it is super biased. It is 100% biased to like the plant-based diet, but it is the most factual documentary out there, aside from so it's like something fork, I don't know, I can't remember what that documentary is called. But we were required to watch them for my health and nutrition classes, and after seeing that, it literally just blows your mind. It'll make you not want to eat meat ever again. And it is statistically accurate up until I think it was like 2017 is when it was released. So it's only gotten more accurate since then. So after watching that, after doing tons of research for years, I've like wanted to just not eat any meat for so long, but being an athlete, it was super hard making that decision, and knowing where to get my protein from. But now that I know something, I think everyone should know, and I am totally not ever gonna tell you, oh, you should be vegan or you should be vegetarian or anything, because I 100% believe that your dietary restrictions and decisions are based on you. Everything is so personal. Just we were talking about our body type, like everyone is so different. So just because living like a plant-based life works for me so well, it totally might not work for you at all. I'm a-okay without dairy. I am a-okay with almond milk, with Beyond Meat, with tofu, without any meat, and I'm still meeting all of my daily nutrients, meeting all of my macros, and
that's what it comes down to, is just giving your body like the nutrients that it needs to function like properly, and making sure that you're in tune with your body and taking care of your body in the right ways and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times people label certain foods as like, oh, that's bad for you, and there's a lot of alternatives to certain things, like even like bread. Like I eat a lot, like if I don't eat bread too often, but if I do, it's usually like gluten-free bread, or there's healthier options of, if you don't like gluten-free bread, of, you know, just other brands that are like have, you know, better what's like the label on that?
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking
like
about.
Nutrition facts.
All the different nutrition facts.
Yeah, there's just so many options, especially like nowadays with all the technology that we have. Like there's so many different diets and different ways to learn. So I think that's the best part about it, is just learning from other people and like their experiences and stuff. Because like I said, I do more like intuitive eating, whatever. Like if I'm always listening to my body. I make sure I do a lot of meditation to just make sure I'm in tune with my body, and that I'm always, you know, just constantly listening to it. And if I feel like, okay, I need grains right now, and it's like, this doesn't make sense because I just had like, you know, a salad for lunch or something, but it's like, okay, my body just needs that.
Yeah.
So that's what I do more of. But I do love, like, I eat some like plant-based things. Like I love, there's like a brand, it's like Morning Sunshine. Is that?
Yeah, Morning Star.
Yeah, Morning Star. Yeah. Morning Sunshine. Yeah, Morning Star. Their stuff is really good.
Yeah.
I have like these little like veggie patties from them.
Yeah.
They're like the breakfast ones. They're so good.
So good.
You get them at Costco. They're so good. Where can you find your other brands that you were talking about?
Yeah, so it's all in the same aisle. So if you go to like in Utah, for anyone local in Utah, Harmon's, any of like
do you know Sprouts carries them, or Whole Foods?
Yes, definitely. They'll definitely carry them just in the vegetable aisle. It's not over near the deli or anything, but Beyond Meat, Morning Star, super great. I've posted about them before. Those are my alternatives.
Yeah. And
what I was gonna mention, a really huge fact when I first heard it in my classes and on the documentaries, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Is that all protein, it comes from plants. So the protein that you're getting in the meat that you're eating is essentially recycled protein. So the meat that's in the protein that's in a honcho of steak, what's it called?
I have no idea, dude. I don't really like.
What's the big thing of steak called?
Like a fillet, maybe?
I thought that was fish.
Oh, that's fish. I'm literally like, this is me.
What is it called?
True.
I don't know. I don't eat steaks.
I don't really eat steak either, so I don't know. I think everyone knows what you're talking about, though.
Steak.
Like a sirloin?
Big mama. Like a big
honcho mama.
big thing of steak. All of the protein that is in that, aside from, this is gonna sound so biased, but it being a dead animal, is recycled through their body. So that cow was eating all of the grass in the little field that you pass when they're just frolicking along, and all of that grass. It's so hard. All the like grass that they're eating and all the plants that they're eating. It's the protein that's going into their bodies and making it so that they can live, like the protein that they're getting, and so then that stays in like their bloodstream and into their meat, and gets into their fat, and so then when they are slaughtered and then turned into produce, the protein that's in the meat from the animals that we eat is all initially came from plants.
I see.
The fact of the matter is, yes, you get more protein in a piece of steak or like some chicken or something like that, but it's like you definitely would have to eat a lot of vegetables to make up for how much protein is in like this slab of meat, for lack of a better term. I literally have no idea. Maybe I'll think of the word later. But
I know, I can't, dude, I honestly don't know the correct, like the correct term like either for it. I have no idea.
But anyway, so there are so many different alternatives. So with the alternatives, with Beyond Meat and with like tofu and Morning Star, everything like that, those are all plant-based. So they're typically made with like different beans. So there's so much protein in beans. So that's where I get a lot of my protein, is from rice and from like grains and beans and everything like that. So soybeans, tofu. You'll hear me say tofu so much because I love
tofu is so good. Have you ever been to Zao?
Yes.
It's so good. And they have tofu. They have tofu there, right? And they have like, I'm pretty sure there's stuff with like, you can get it like plant-based, right?
Yeah, you can get pretty much anything plant-based as long as you ask for it. And I'm super like, I loved chicken and I love Asian food and Mexican food. So I was love chicken enchiladas and like chicken curry and everything like that.
Freaking Cafe Rio.
Yeah, but the alternatives,
So good.
for people who try to refrain from meat, I've posted about this also. People who are trying to refrain from meat just for for ethical reasons, anything like that, which for me it wasn't at first, but it's like kind of progressively grown to be. But I'm not crazy about it, you know.
Totally.
There are alternatives that taste exactly like regular meat does.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, you would not know the difference if I were to make you a plate of real chicken nuggets and Morningstar chicken nuggets. And
dude, Morningstar stuff is so good.
They're so good.
Their stuff is so good.
And like,
it's really good.
If I were to give it to you, like, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And Beyond Meat, you can tell the difference.
Do you know what their stuff is like made of?
Yeah, so it's like soybeans, pea, something.
So it's made of like all like vegetables?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just plant-based. I don't know.
Because I feel like a lot of people might think that like, oh, like plant-based stuff, it's like fake chicken, so it's like worse for you than like real meat.
No, I honestly, and this is something that I still like, we still, like we said, we're not professionals. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I still have yet to learn more, because I'm new to Beyond Meat. I'm not new to like tofu or anything like that, or fish. I eat a lot of tempeh, and that's not fish, but tempeh is also another really good alternative that tastes a lot like chicken. It's like tofu, but tastes like chicken. Yeah, there are tons of different alternatives, and they taste
really similar.
Yeah. And I don't know how they taste similar, but they do.
They do somehow.
It's a thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I eat that.
Well, if you guys have any more questions for Erica with like plant-based diet stuff, make sure to like comment them, or you can send me them on Instagram or her on Instagram, and we'll definitely answer them for you. I think like so is there anything else with like being plant-based that like you wanted to like kind of touch on, or do you feel like you've kind of touched on everything?
Yeah, one more thing is going back to nutrients and meeting your nutrients, how we're talking about like when you're eating healthy, you feel so much better.
Yeah.
It is so real. The reason that I made my transition from like eating chicken to not is because for my health and nutrition class, for one of the assignments, you had to live a month of a complete dietary change, like something like major for you.
Done before?
Mm-hmm. And so like getting rid of gluten, getting rid of sugar,
and you wanted to do
keto, and then plant-based. And so I was like, I think I could really do this.
Yeah.
And so
awesome.
I was vegan for a month, and it was okay. Like, it definitely, I could do it. I know that I could definitely do it. But I was still in the process of making the transition from milk to lactose-free milk to almond milk. And there's super simple ways to make transitions. And then also like not eating chicken, because that's where I was getting so much of my protein from. And then not eating fish either, because that's another big one for me. And oh my gosh, cheese and yogurt.
I love fish.
Hello. Yum. I know, it was so hard.
Yum.
It was so hard. And so that's why I made the decision after I'd already started to make the transition to make it like a definite thing.
Yeah, totally.
And yeah, after that, and I was in the midst of training for season, because my sport was a spring season, so all winter long we were training, and doing so much conditioning and heavy weightlifting, and
Hold up. I gotta turn that back on. You can keep talking.
Okay. But yeah, what? Who? I don't know what I was saying.
I think we were talking about
nutrients.
Yeah, nutrients. Yeah.
Nutrients. Yeah, just making sure that I was getting all of like the nutrients that I needed. Yeah, so I was making the transition and training, and then once I made that transition for that month in the midst of training, it was like night and day for me. Literally,
That's crazy.
Was not as bloated. I did not feel as groggy. Like, I always felt good, you know, like when you bloat up, and it happens to everyone. Okay, everyone like gets a little gassy.
It's so
sorry.
true.
Like, it's a thing that happens.
Don't apologize,
but
it's just a fact.
It's real. I just felt so much better, literally all the time. Like, I just felt lighter. I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I just felt like refreshed.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're in Hawaii
and
you breathe in the air and you're like refreshed. That's how.
That's how.
That's like the worst
That's
comparison
amazing.
ever, but it
That's
really
amazing.
like
Oh, dude, I
was
know that
sleeping
feeling.
better.
Yeah.
Like I felt so much better. I wasn't get. I am a huge migraine person. Wasn't getting migraines. Literally was not getting migraines.
That's crazy.
And yeah, it was awesome. Like it was super great for me. And then yeah, I'm meeting all of my daily nutrients dependent on like what my routine is. Because what my routine is different from hers or from everyone has a different routine.
True.
Even though we have like the same general guidelines.
Yeah,
everything's different.
So different.
And so yeah, that was super big for me. And then also choosing when to eat. So there are a ton of different diets that you can choose, whether it's plant-based or not. If you want to eat your steak, sis, you go for it. If you love chicken, go for it. I love chicken.
I personally don't love the term of like I know it's like technically called like diets and stuff because like you can't eat certain something, you know, like a certain food or a certain like food group. But I feel like it's so important to choose something that you can turn into like a lifestyle, so that like whether it's being plant-based or gluten-free or just not eating sugar, whatever for you is like realistic. Like I know for me, like girl needs her like freaking chocolate and ice cream like every once in a while.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not gonna tell myself, oh, I'm never gonna eat sugar again, because I know that's like not realistic and I don't want to do that. So I think there's like a good like happy medium between like finding what works for you, and then also not just because diets are like, if you're doing like, you're just like, okay, I want to do like keto or whatever for like a month or two, and then just I'm gonna not do it after that. I almost feel like that's, which I could be wrong, I really honestly don't know, but I personally feel like that's for your mental and your physical health. That might not be the best idea. I think it's better to make a lifestyle change that you're gonna do every day and that works for you, because your body is just gonna go back to the exact same way it was after, because you're gonna go back to the same habits, or maybe you learn like a few things. But like that's what I found for me, at least with like intuitive eating, which I'm always open for trying like new things and stuff, but just like over like the years of trying different things, because ever since I was like probably 14, I think 14 was when I really started to get into like fitness and stuff, which I know is like a really young age, but I like started doing a lot of like running, and with sports I feel like when you're playing sports it just kind of comes naturally, because you're like, wait, I love the way this feels, like I want to eat like better to like give my body better nutrients. And so yeah, that's kind of where that's like the age that I started getting really into it. But I feel like ever since then it's mostly just come from like listening to my body, giving it what it needs. And I feel like for me at least, because I love the idea that I have full control over my diet, you know? Yeah. And then like I can choose to eat certain things, and then I also I cannot eat them. If that like makes sense. But I feel like another huge thing with like diet, like, or not dieting, I just said I hate that word and I use it. But it's like, that's like the correct term.
Choices.
Yeah, dietary choices. I feel like, and restrictions, Which like I know some people do have like really serious restrictions because of allergies and that kind of stuff, which is, that's like a whole different, you know, subject. But I think I did a Q&A on my Instagram story, probably like last week, because I knew we were going to be filming this. And so I wanted to see what people like had the most questions on. And I think like most of the questions were like easy ways to eat healthy, or easy ways to like get fit really quick, or like how to lose weight. Like they were all kind of in the same like, you know, like topic, or like it was mostly like losing weight, or like getting more fit, or just like learning how to eat like healthier, which I feel like it really all comes down to like not being afraid to try new things, like being plant-based, or just different, you know, like maybe being keto is best for your body. Like, you know, I know there's so many different opinions on every diet out there, whether it's plant-based or just like, you know, there's so many different ones. I could name all of them, but so I feel like knowing what works for you and like trying out different things and then taking those and like learning from them. But I feel like you have to go all in to try certain things. You can't just like do it a little bit and then you have to like really go all in. And then
that's how I was. I think it's so personal, dependent on your body type. And not even your type, just like the way
how your
that
body
you
functions.
Are.
And your genetics, like there's so much that goes into it.
And so
there's nothing that grinds my gears more than when people, like I've had people do this to me all the time, where they like compare my body to like theirs or someone else's, and I'm like, we are two completely different people, two completely genetics, half of my genetics are from a different country than yours.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Like, you cannot compare,
Yeah.
you know, like my body type to yours, or because you don't know what goes on like internally too with like, you know, someone else's body or your own, really.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's so crazy with diet stuff, because I feel like it's just a constant. You're constantly learning, which is so fun when you think about it. How you're just always learning and just kind of, you know, just figuring out different things that work for you. But anyways, going back to the questions on Instagram. So I feel like answering those, I don't know. I want you to help chime in if you have anything to say. But I know with like, I feel like with eating healthy, there's one general rule that comes down to it, and I feel like it's like portion control with everything. Like, because no matter what diet you're on, even if you're plant-based, I'm sure there's things that like aren't, like, if you were to just eat the same exact thing, like the chicken nuggets, and you're like, oh, I'm plant-based, but you're not getting any grains or anything else, then it's like, and not portion control, just with like not eating too much sugar or too many like carbs, or, you know, like too many fats or whatever. And that's obviously dependent on the diet that you're on, so it might be different depending on that. But I feel like that's really what it is getting your body the nutrients that it needs, and not over exceeding certain
that's super. That's we keep coming back to nutrients.
I know, it's so
and
crazy.
Macros, and just making sure. And even if you're not a macro counter, I'm not a macro counter.
I'm not a macro counter either. I know a lot of people are, but
especially
for
I see
me,
it
it just gets them. I know myself, and I know that the second I start counting numbers, it's like, for me, it becomes I just get overwhelmed, and I'm like, nope. Like, I know, you know, good enough to know, like, okay, my body needs this, which maybe one day I'll like be able to count them again and not have an issue with it. But I just, in the past, I've just never really been a fan of that.
Yeah,
because I feel like I just get it.
And it's just like being good to yourself. That's a super big one. Like, for me, sometimes 10 o'clock hits and I just really want a McFlurry, you know? And it's like, oh, but this is like against my diet or whatever. Like, I don't really I've never really gone on a diet. I do intermittent fasting.
Oh, I've done that. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
I loved it.
And so my limit was like 8 o'clock, but sometimes it really
you just gotta freaking go for it and just live your life, you know?
And so it's like really being good to yourself, because if I didn't, this might sound dumb, but if I didn't earn that McFlurry, then I won't go get it, because I'll let like a lot of it's mental for sure. You can't have a healthy body if you don't have a healthy mind.
So true.
So as long, like, if I got a workout in that day, or even if I didn't, like, I've been injured for a while, so I haven't been able to lift as much as I used to be able to. I still run, like trail run and everything like that, and then I was meeting all of my nutrients, and it's like, oh, this is a really healthy day. But then I like meet my 8 o'clock time, and then it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, wow, how great does a burrito sound, or like a McFlurry or something that I just want to splurge. Cheat days are great. Any, like, whatever you want, just make sure that you're good to yourself, I think, is a really big part, because you can't be in the mental state, oh, I'm eating so much healthier, but you're like miserable and you're suffering. But
your
it's
body's
just
crying on the inside, and you're like, okay, wait, I hate this too.
And then everything sucks, and then you're not going to meet your fitness goals, and then you're not going to progress, and then you're going to be sad.
And so we don't want that.
Don't do that. But like Tara was saying, is portion control. Like, anything, they say this all the time, anything's fine in moderation. Like, aside from certain things, like drugs, don't do those.
Don't do drugs.
Just, if you want a McFlurry, go. I just thought of that.
I know,
there's
dude.
McDonald's.
There's literally McDonald's sign right there. You love that.
But just making sure that you're good to yourself is a really big step into healthy eating.
I know one thing for me too is, like, I really try not to keep junk food. Like, when I say junk food, I just mean, like, which I'm not really like a chips type of girl. I'm more of like a sugar, like ice cream. I don't really
just hear my stomach growl.
Because you're talking about food. That's amazing.
I love chip.
You like chips? Like, I do like chips and salsa or chips and guacamole, but I'm definitely
chip cookies.
Oh, chip? Oh my gosh, dude. Yes, so good. Wait.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
No, you're totally good. Dude, you're totally good. But anyways, just not having like junk food in my house personally has helped me a lot with because if it's like around, then I'm probably gonna eat it, or just like, oh, I'm just gonna snack on it like today.
That's
And then
me
like the
with
next day,
Oreos.
it's like, oh, I'm just gonna snack on it today. I'll do it again tomorrow. It's like actually, so like whenever I
Sounds
want
cool.
like ice cream or something, I'll go out and like get a very small amount of it. So it's either like I freaking love McFlurries too. Like Oreo
You have to spend
McFlurries
money.
are amazing. I know, but for me, it's like I would rather just end up spending a little bit more because I don't really buy like I don't even know the last time I really went to McDonald's. Like I'm more of like a Ben and Jerry's girl, to be honest.
Oh my gosh.
But like
Can
having
I
but like having that thing at my house, dude, it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for me personally, I'm like, man, I'm working out so hard and I'm doing so good in so many other ways. So I feel like just not keeping it at like your house, and if you do, like just go to McDonald's and get like a little ice cream cone. Like that's what I try to do most of the time, but obviously I'm not a perfect human, and freaking I love Ben and Jerry's like I just said, so I'll go treat myself because I'm like, heck yeah, sign me up. Literally. But yeah, I feel like not having junk food in my house has helped me a ton. Like just just like over the time.
That's
over
what I do.
Yeah.
Like, cause then I'm like,
because then you don't have any
ice
other
cream,
option.
but like, I have to get in my car and
I know,
have
it's
to
like
drive
so much
there,
work.
and then I have to pay
Spend
for
money.
it.
I know. And spending money on fast food is like honestly like such a waste of money.
Yeah, so
Like, it really
that's
is.
another. I don't know. That works for me. That's how I like, manage it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like a good foodie haul.
Yeah.
That's always nice. Like
Yes.
before I was coming
I
here,
love
I was
grocery
like,
shopping.
what should I eat? Yeah, and just like planning things out. Meal prepping is
Cooking
also
is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I can
is.
totally see because I like do it for customers. I like help people.
Oh,
like,
so you
sort
guys
of-
meal prep there too, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
the members have options. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do. Come to Live Cafe. It's open to the public. But yeah, I like meal prepping. I totally see how that works. It does not work for me at all.
Meal
I can't.
prepping?
Yeah, I can't. It just does not work for me. I did it for my health and nutrition class again. Like I tried all sorts of stuff, but it just did not work for me. I will never do it. Okay, like I don't want to be that close-minded to it, but like it just does not work for me.
Did you just get bored of like the same food every day, or was it
It
like?
wasn't that. I just hated it. I don't know. I felt like super organized afterwards, but I hated like making all of the food and then having to stick to it because
like you
if
felt
you're
like you
like
didn't have like freedom. Almost?
Yeah, and if you're like me, your mood for food changes. Like 1 second I'm like, cafe Rio salad, and then 1 second I'm like, Chipotle burrito, and then I'm like, sushi. All in like 2 hours. So
it all just constantly changing.
Yeah, it's really just dependent, and that's another part of like being good to yourself. In my opinion, about like being good to yourself is like do what you want to do, you know,
totally,
and have control over it. And so meal prepping just didn't work for me, and I work at the cafe, so it's not like I needed it, like need to have something on my lunch break, you know, because I just like make it, but I can see it just like it just doesn't work for my lifestyle, like it doesn't work for my job, it doesn't work with like what I'm doing, so meal prepping isn't for me, but for people, they cannot live without it. There are tons of people.
Colby loves it. I really don't, I mean, I don't really need to do it because I'm kind of like you, like I don't feel like eating the same thing every day, but I feel like it's a lot of times it's boys that love it. So if you guys have men out there that like want to eat healthier without, you know, like without too much thought going into it, I feel like it's so awesome. Like Colby, I make him like chicken with either potatoes and then like some veggies like broccoli or asparagus, and he loves it. He like thrives off it. Or we'll just buy like a huge thing of salsa from Costco. We'll put it in the Instant Pot and we'll put chicken in there, pour the salsa in, and he freaking loves it. Because it's like almost like marinated in salsa. So it's like it doesn't have to be like it's really good. It doesn't have to be like super complicated, where I feel like a lot of times people kind of over complicate things when it's actually really simple. And I think your diet comes down to you know, just knowing yourself, like we've said, knowing your body, knowing what works for you, and if you don't know, just figuring it out and being okay with trying different things. Experiment
your life away.
And don't be afraid to do something. Like get outside of your comfort zone and just kind of try new things, because I feel like so many people do things because they're afraid of a fear that's literally doesn't even exist. Their mind just tells them something like, oh, if you do this, then this is gonna happen, or you know, something, and it's like actually that's just a fear that your body and that your mind is literally just telling you, and it's like that's not even true, that's like a whole nother topic too. But It's so crazy because it really does all play together, like what we've said with like your mental health and how it literally does affect like your physical well-being. And I feel like that's another thing too, is that's what I personally love about like working out and stuff, is just how when I'm working out, my mind being healthy, because that's why I work out, is for the mental, reasons. Obviously I love.
Do you get runner's high?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh
and
my gosh,
every time I leave like
a
fitness class or something where I just went ham, like I've been super into like bar weight recently.
Yeah.
And it's freaking amazing. I just love the way that I feel after. I love like the endorphins, and like that's what you hear like everyone say that does like, that's a very like regular like fitness person will just say, like either on Instagram or whatever, they'll all say that like they do it for like the mental reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the physical is just like a plus, and being active, there's so many benefits that come from that because you're healthier, you're not going to get sick as often, all these different things. But it really does come down to just the fact that your mind is just going to be so healthy, and it's just like the most rewarding thing ever.
Yeah.
So
drink water.
Oh yeah, water is another thing.
That.
Yeah, we literally both have our cheers. No, dude, literally water is everything. Skin, I mean, that's a whole other subject in itself too. But literally, it's so simple. Drink water and your skin will be so much better, and you'll feel so much better.
In the morning,
it's crazy.
Start your morning out. If
I drink a whole glass of water, like cold water, before I eat anything or do anything.
That is something I think everyone should do.
Yeah.
Lemon water too. First thing in the morning.
So good.
So good for you.
I'm just getting thirsty talking about water.
I like the second I like looked over and I was like, I'm kind of thirsty.
Yeah, dude, and like talking makes you thirsty too. So it's like just drinking freaking water is the most amazing thing.
And if you have problems with water, that's another really big part of like fitness. Like if you don't have enough, if you're not hydrated, then you're not gonna sweat the right liquids.
It's true. Dude, I think I know some people say that they don't like water, but I feel like also don't get that in your head, because I feel like a lot of times people will say something and then they like literally their mind like tricks something that they don't like water, when it's like your body's literally like made up of water.
Yeah.
So that's like not possible, which I know some people really say that they don't. But like I can personally taste the difference in certain like waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't like Arrowhead. I don't really drink bottled water.
Oh my gosh,
Arrowhead's the worst. Like Dasani, whatever it's called. Yeah, those two. Costco water is so good. It's amazing. Also, I don't drink bottled water anymore. I used to, but I don't buy it anymore.
Plastic bottles are bad for the environment.
So bad. And straws. Literally. I'm not even I'm just like, man, it's so simple to just use a reusable water bottle and and it's so much better.
That's why you should get a hydro, and if you can get like a Nalgene or something. I've seen if you like struggle with water, you can get like the clear like Camelbacks and Nalgenes and stuff, and you can write the times on them.
Oh, so that you know when you're supposed to drink.
You should have this much gone by 11 a.m.
I know
this
a lot
much
of
gone by 3 p.m. This much gone by 2 p.m. It should be more than that. It should be like 11 a.m. 2 p.m.
and then fill it up
refill.
Again. Yeah.
And then
I know a lot of people too, like they use those little, not like Crystal Light packets, but there's like healthier versions of those.
Yeah,
that a lot of people use. Yeah, I know a lot of people use those at first, and they're trying to drink more water and get off of soda or something. Yeah. But that's another thing, is I literally don't drink. I mean, if I literally just had soda for the first time, like 2 weeks ago in like so long, and I felt so sick after. I had the most insane headache. I was like, I am never doing this again. Yeah. And Colby got sick from it, and we were just like, what did we do? We went to Swig, and I'd never actually been to Swig and like got like a drink from like a soda drink, and I literally worked there, but I never drank soda because I just don't.
Yeah, I don't
like
drink soda or carbonation.
Yeah, and so I try. Yeah, I really try not to drink anything besides water. Obviously, it's like if drinks are like your thing. Oh, I love kombucha. Kombucha's freaking amazing, and juices. I love juices, but I feel like it just comes back to giving your body certain nutrients and stuff. Yep. But is there anything else that you wanted to like touch base on? Touch the base on, because you're a softball player. Oh my gosh, that was like so corny. I can't.
She got me.
She got me.
Yeah, just I guess the key things to take back. Drink water.
Drink water.
That's it. Mic drop.
Drink water and you're chilling.
Meet your daily nutrients. Figure out what that is. Experiment. to see what works for you. Healthy eating is literally so easy. It just
takes work.
with your mind.
Yeah,
I don't know,
really
that might
It takes
sound like
effort.
just the worst thing ever,
Yeah.
but it literally starts with your mind, because if like my mental being wasn't there for my physical being, then nothing.
Or if you think you can't do something, then you're right. You're not gonna do it. But if you think you can do something, then you're right. You can't do it. Either way, you're gonna be right. Whether you think you can or you can't do something, you're right either way.
So it's up to you to just. You can achieve anything.
Just so true. Okay, guys.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in to my TK Wellness show. And if you want to go follow Erica, it's Erica Eats.
2
You wanna
A's.
just spell it for them again?
Yeah.
Do it kind of slow so that they can like go follow you.
At ERIC. Is this backwards? EATS.
So Erica with 2 A's and then Eats. Okay, awesome. And if you guys have any other questions for us, just make sure to leave them in the comments below or message one of us and we'll be happy to answer them. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye!